So today we're going to be talking about a movie that revolves around fast food, and much like fast food, it is just bad. But it's so good. Let's get spooky. Greetings everyone, my name is Nightshade. This is The Night Shift, a home for all things spooky, and today we're looking at Drive-Thru, released in 2007. Now this is a movie that I feel like not a lot of people know about. As a matter of fact, the only people that I know this movie are juggalos. I mean, it's a dude running around with a meat cleaver killing people. Like, of course juggalos know what this is. But as far as like the majority horror community, I don't really see anybody talking about this film. I mean, it's one of the farthest things away from a cinematic masterpiece, that's for sure. But you know, a lot of horror fans like those old shitty B-flick movies, but not a whole lot of people know about this one. At least not a whole lot of people in my horror circle know about this movie. This is one that, you know, I kind of bring to the table and introduce people to. And you know what? I decided I wanted to go ahead and do that here on the channel and introduce you guys to this film. Like, when I'm telling you it's not good, I promise you it's not good, but it's so good at the same time. Now, how I was introduced to this movie was I used to live next door to this video rental place. There's a video rental place and a Little Caesars and a Chinese buffet all attached on one little strip, which loved it. Everything that I could ever want, all in one little strip. So, I mean, that was pretty dope. But, you know, every Friday after work, which was my payday, I would go and I would rent a weekend's worth of movie watching experience. And I would often go for movies that I've never seen before, and a lot of which were horror. And I found this gem, and I rented it, and I was talking shit the whole time. However, whenever I finished watching the movie, I just couldn't help but love it. Like, it is a weird one for sure. Like, the story doesn't really make sense. The acting isn't good, but there's something about this film. Like, it is much like McDonald's. Like, you go to McDonald's and they have the world's okayest cheeseburgers, the world's okayest nuggets, the world's best Coke, though. That is the best Coca-Cola you're gonna get, hands down. Now, McDonald's is just not good, but sometimes it hits the fucking spot, especially whenever you've been dieting for a long time, and you know, sometimes a McChicken just slaps. And that's kind of what this movie is. It's not good, but fuck, it's fun, all right? It's a fun movie. And the coolest part about it is that it is free here on YouTube for the whole world to watch. So before I move on, if you haven't seen this movie and you definitely want to check it out, it's like an hour and a half long, there will be a link in the description below. Like, it's free with ads, but I think it's well worth it. It's also free to watch on Tubi, which surprisingly has become my favorite movie watching platform because they have a little bit of everything over there. This isn't sponsored by Tubi, but you know, they're pretty good as far as the movie department goes. So I am super pumped to talk about this movie, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna quit yapping and go ahead and get into the review. So for this review, I'm gonna break it down into two categories, the positives and the negatives. Let you know what I liked about this movie and what I didn't like about this movie. Then when we're done with that, I'm going to tell you what my favorite scene in this film is and tell you why it is my favorite scene. And we are gonna score this out of 10 and end the video. But here on The Night Shift, we always start things off on the bright side with So in order for me to like a movie that is this bad, it has to have a certain charm about it, and this has its own charm.
What I want to know is, what's this got to do with Horny the Clown? I grew up with that lovable son of a bitch. It's like finding out Captain Kangaroo's got pieces of Mr. Green Jeans in his freezer.
You know, the charm about this movie is that it knows what it is. It doesn't try to be a cinematic masterpiece. It doesn't try to be the next big thing. It knows it's not going to be the next big thing. And, you know, it kind of stays in that lane and knows what it is and is very self-aware. The directors of this film had to have been like, you know what, this is a B-rate horror film, and we are going to just camp the fuck out of this and own it and make the B-rate horror film our own. And you know what? They did, and they did a really successful job at it because, like I keep saying, this is not a good movie. Please don't watch this film and think that it is a good movie. I don't want you to feel misled. It's not a good movie at all. But it has a charm about it that makes it so much fun. That's all I gotta say about that, so let's move on to our next positive, which is... You know, I love the cast of stereotyped characters in this film. Mackenzie, played by Leighton Meester, Meester. She's probably the most well-seasoned actor in this film.
To predict the future. But I already know you're gonna abandon me when we graduate. And I'll die. Fat. Alone. And Republican. In Orange County, which is pretty much worse than going to hell.
You know, she's been in a lot of small stuff like Hangman's Curse, if you've ever watched that. At this point in time, you know, she's probably the person that had the most experience up until now, and it translates pretty well on screen. Ben Badgley is also in this film from Her fame, the Netflix TV show Her. He's actually in this film as like a background side character kind of thing.
Heather, stiff as a board.
Ooh, shh. I think I can hear the spirits.
Oh, dude!
I always kind of think it's funny, like, you know, seeing successful actors that just got their start in like little shitty horror movies like this one. You know, shit like that always tickles me, and it's always cool to see where someone's been and where they come from. It's always something that I appreciate seeing. And you know, there's a lot of like B-movie actors in this that, you know, like you've seen before. You can't remember the movie that you've seen them in, but you know you've seen them before. Like the heavyset detective, like he's one of those actors that I've seen in so many movies, and I could never tell you which movies they were because, you know, they're these like low budget, watch it once and forget it kind of films.
What was the song?
Highway to Hell.
Styx, Paradise Theater, great album.
That'd be AC/DC, sir.
Sergeant, I was rocking it while you were still shitting yourself, so...
Dwayne, it was AC/DC.
So we do get a lot of those types of familiar faces in this film. We also get a surprise cameo from Morgan Spurlock, who is famous for Super Size Me.
Welcome to Hellburger. Would you like to try our corn dog combo? It's only $2.99.
No thanks, Robbie. I'll take 3 number 4s, hell enormous, 2 orders of Inferno fries, double chili, double cheese, and 4 chocolate shakes in the Prince of Darkness collector cups.
Hungry.
I just think it's cool that, you know, he did a piece on fast food and ended up being in a horror movie based on fast food. Rest in peace, good sir. Now, moving on to our next positive, we have... So, the main antagonist is called Horny the Clown.
Order up, punk! Employee of the month's about to fuck you up!
It's a goofy ass name, and the costume also goofy. It reminds me of like a side boss character in like a 2002, 2003 video game.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash us right the fuck in!
Like, I very much enjoy the mask. The mask is a lot of fun because, you know, it's got a grill, like a speaker like you would see outside of a fast food restaurant back in the day. Back when fast food was fun and the speakers weren't just boxes with screens attached to them. But, you know, Horny the Clown's got a lot of personality. He's also very much a shit-talking slasher.
You got a lot of guts, kid.
And his weapon of choice is a like giant meat cleaver, and it's got like this little flame engraved out of it, which I thought is pretty cool. But if Horny the Clown had any less, you know, character to him, I would probably not be singing this movie's praises as much as I am. Because again, this is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's fun, and Horny the Clown makes it that much more fun. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next negative, which is... So the kills in this movie are a little bit out there, a little bit far-fetched. They ask you to reach a lot for some of these, but the kills in this film are in fact fun, and that's what I want whenever I watch a shitty horror movie. Is if it's going to be bad, I want to at least have a fun time watching it. And a majority of these kills are quite fun. I have a great time watching these people die. There's one kill where there's like a chick with a microwave on her head, and her head gets cooked to oblivion, and it's like chained shut so nobody could open it. I remember the first time watching that kill and was all like, well, I have questions. How does that thing still work whenever there's a hole drilled into the bottom of the microwave? What the fuck is that microwave even plugged into? They don't explain it. And why was that the best method of dispatching of a victim? It's not. Some of the kills, like that one that I just mentioned, are a little bit on the dumb side, but fuck, you know, it's fun. It's a fun movie. So that is just about going to do it for the positives. Now we move on to the not so bright side of things with I've said it throughout this entire review. This movie is just bad. It's just bad. And, you know, I could have eaten up more runtime and gotten a longer video out of this by doing all the separate title cards for this segment, but we would be here for a long time. So to save you and me some time, I'm just going to put it all on the table here and just saying that it's bad. Like, every aspect of this movie is bad. The movie is objectively bad. Acting in this film is bad. The CGI is an abomination to the eyes. The language used in this film is dated, which is bad. Objectively, this movie is bad. It's probably dog shit to a lot of people. So as much as I love a great movie, as much as I love a film with excellent cinematography, excellent lighting, excellent casting, excellent story arcs that have different layers of meaning, as much as I love that stuff, I also very much love bad movies. It's just, you know, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. And it's not even a guilty pleasure because I don't give a fuck. If I like something, I like something. And that's all there is to be said. As much as I like cooking, you know, a bougie meal or going to a fancy restaurant, I still like going to McDonald's. You know, it's much the same as that. And if you were to look at the slasher horror genre as a whole, this is definitely the fast food of slasher flicks. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next chapter, which is so my favorite scene in this film is the entire opening sequence.
Yo, B-side. Where we going, player? Motherfucking Helleburger, yo.
From the terrible, terrible dialogue from when those guys go through the drive-thru.
4 chili cheese hella half-pounders.
Ooh, I want a milkshake. Ooh. Chocolate.
Yo, you busting out your Tommies as it is, booty quake.
You wanna die, bitch?
Yo, you dissing us in there, grease spot? What the fuck you just say?
You want fries with that?
You watching everybody get butchered in different ways using fast food utensils. I just love this scene. It's fucking hilarious. Especially because I can't tell if these guys are hamming up their acting because, you know, they know it's going to be a campy, shitty horror movie, or if they're genuinely trying. I can't tell the difference.
Homie got a date with my nickel plate. Gonna put my gat, gonna peel his cap back. Yo, where the fuck are my fries, dog? I ain't got all night and shit.
No, the shitty acting, the decent kills, and the horrible dialogue in the opening of this film, all of that culminated together just makes for a good laugh. And yeah, it's my favorite scene in the movie. So now that all of that is out of the way, let's go ahead and score this movie. I'm actually going to give this thing 2 separate scores. A Nightshade enjoyment score, which is going to be a solid 8 out of 10. This is one of those movies that is so bad that it's good to me, and I just fucking love it. But I'm also going to give it an objective score on quality of film, and for that, I'm going to give this a solid 2 out of 10. That is just about going to do it for me. If you liked the video, let me know by leaving me a like. Comment down below what you want to see on the channel next. I will do my best to accommodate. I really will. And until next time, my name is Nightshade. This has been The Night Shift, and I will see you in the next video. Stay spooky, my friends. So before I started filming, I did a little bit of a repaint towards this mask. I gave it like angry eyebrows and, you know, did some frown lines here and touched up some of the black in the teeth and around the thing. And that really has changed the way that this mask looks. It almost looks like a completely different mask, but it's not. That really just goes to show you how much a paint job can change the shape of a mask, because, yeah, this thing looks fucking sick now. Like, it's kind of giving Papa Emeritus 2 vibes, kind of, from Ghost, whenever Papa did his second mask. And yeah, I kind of like it. And if you're still watching up to this point, congratulations. You made it to a super cool group of people here on the channel known as the Spooky Squad. By watching this video all the way to the end, you have proved yourself to be a real one. So let me know that you're out there by commenting down below, Spooky Squad 2025. Let me know you're out there. So Friday's video is going to be a little bit different. We're not doing a review or an unboxing. I'm going to be doing the top 5 best masks in horror and the top 5 worst masks in horror. And those are going to be posted on Friday and Sunday. And then next Tuesday, we are going to be starting the Friday the 13th franchise because you guys voted for it and I aim to please. So yeah, I'm going to go start knocking out all of these videos right now. So I will catch you on Friday. Peace.